Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Ian Stedman from Magic Medieval Games looking at Fire of Eidolon.
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 Yep.
Eidolon. Okay. Eidolon. What is Eidolon?
Eidolon is the name of the world.
Okay.
And the world has come under siege from this dark sorcerer named Vorax, and the will of the planet has manifested itself into this powerful artifact, which was then immediately stolen by the dark forces, and now we have to get it back.
Okay. Working together.
Yes, this is
as
a cooperative
forces.
dungeon crawling game.
Okay. I see 1 to 6 players.
Yes, 1 to 6 players.
Yeah.
And plays about 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay. So, how do we go about getting it?
So the game
You can't just walk in.
Right. So what we have here is a game that's in
Order it.
progress. And the game will start with just this single tile here in the middle available on the board. This is the entry vestibule and it has that portal there. Everyone will begin on that square and start exploring outward.
Okay.
Instead of rolling dice in this game, everything is built on an action point system. So every character in the game, there are 12 different heroes with unique powers, and they each have 3 action points to use on their turn.
Okay.
Moving from one chamber to another is 1 action point, so long as there's a doorway to connect it. Discovering a new chamber, so if this rogue here wanted to discover a new chamber in this direction, they would turn over the next tile, choose how they want to orient it, and then just lock it in place and move themselves over.
Okay.
When these chambers come into place,
That's not good.
for instance, that's a green one, it's going to get this green key on it. That's a token of power. There are 3 different kinds of those, and those are the goal of the game. We have to get 6 of each of these 3 different tokens of power,
Okay.
and then find where the corresponding relics are located. With 6 of those tokens, we can break those relics, of which there are 3, and then anyone is able to pick up the Fire of Eidolon, and then everyone mad dash for the exit.
Okay. But first, break all 3.
Right.
Okay.
You have to find them and break them. And while you're doing this, of course, the evil wizards are going to be fighting against you. So they're going to start sending their cultists into these chambers.
Okay.
After every one of our turns, we're going to turn over a number of cards from this deck according to the current threat level. So on this difficulty, it would start at 1. We turn over 1 card at the end of a hero's turn. Dragonling is in the dungeon, so we would add a little cultist token there.
Okay.
Every time we exhaust this deck, however, this is going to go up. So after a little while, now we're going to draw 2 cards. And if a card comes up in the dungeon, floating stones, that already has a cultist token on there, that's going to be removed from the dungeon completely, set off to the side along with its card. And that might create a permanent gap in your dungeon that may prevent you
Someone
from winning.
has to go refill.
Right. So
what
you
that
have a
says.
couple of options in this case. You can actually just discover a new one and hope that there's a door connecting there. In this case, there isn't. But also some of the hero's powers can kind of bring those chambers back to and create new paths.
Okay. All right. What are the different powers for characters? I noticed they all have some different text on the side.
Every
here.
hero has 2 unique powers. The one written in white is the basic skill, and those can be used once per turn at least, sometimes multiple times per turn. This one once per turn. And then the one written in yellow down here is your master skill, and those can be used once per game.
Okay.
So, for instance, the warrior here. So when attacking cultists, normally you'd have to be in the same chamber as one and spend 1 action point. But the warrior has a pole arm, so they can stab into the next adjacent chamber. So if he was here, they could attack this cultist token right there with 1 action point without having to move.
Okay. All right. Are you putting yourself at risk when you go into spaces with cultists?
Not necessarily. The cultists are
but
doing...
you're just talking about the ease. You don't have to move. You don't have to spend an action to do that and
Exactly.
somewhere else. Okay.
You can pass by cultists unharmed because they're busy casting their ritual. This is why this is called the ritual deck. So they're in the corner doing their thing, trying to destroy this dungeon with you and the artifacts of power inside.
Okay. All right. And there you go. Any changes for player counts other than more or fewer players?
No,
you adjust the deck. You don't do any.
You don't have to alter anything. There are options. The game comes with 8 difficulty levels that are all on these double-sided cards.
Okay.
There are also 4 scenarios which further change the rules a little bit on those double-sided cards. And then there are some extra tiles for those variants as well. So there's a lot of adjustment you can make if you find the game's too easy. It's a very easy problem to fix.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ian, for an overview of Fire of Eidolon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.